Hello and welcome to round one of the SMRC eSports Racing Summer Cup, brought to you by Sim Broadcast's live stream partner for your sim racing event. It's Andy Alston here, no Duncan Vincent with us this evening, so I'm joined in the commentary box by Pete Butcher, and we're at Silverstone and the national layout for what promises to be three action-packed races here tonight. Fraser Williamson is the man to beat after winning the Spring Cup in the Mazda MX-5 last time out. But Pete, we've got a brand new car for this summer championship.
Yeah, last championship, or the last season, which was a couple of weeks ago, it finished, was in the MX-5s, which was pretty... it was dicey, wasn't it, throughout that season? But plenty of drivers having plenty of fun, and hopefully that fun continues on into the TCR series we've got here for the next 6 rounds, 12 weeks.
Absolutely. So the drivers will be behind the wheel of an Audi RS3 LMS version of the car, and that will be a very, very interesting one to see how they get on. And this is our own version of a mini touring car championship, if you will, because we're going to iconic tracks across the UK for this Summer Cup, with Oulton Park, Snetterton, Donington and Brands Hatch all on the calendar, and fingers crossed we'll have Knockhill in there too. So there's a couple of new faces on the grid to keep an eye out for this one, including the returning Stuart Mcfadden, who's back on track for this cup, and he's certainly one to keep an eye on, Pete.
Definitely. He was a force to be reckoned with during the SMRC's Lockdown Cup. We only saw him for one of the rounds in the Spring Cup, but yeah, hopefully he can make all of the rounds here. He's certainly one to contend with the Pure Sims driver.
Certainly is. So qualifying is underway here at Silverstone, and it's a national layout here, 1.6 miles, 5 corners in total. It's a very tricky track to get right, particularly in this car. I feel that this Audi is one that's a little bit prone to understeer, and with these long sweeping corners in this configuration, that means that there's going to be plenty of room for overtaking across all 3 races. So the drivers are out on track at the moment. It's a 10-minute session, and they've got a maximum of 4 timed laps. And because they're out there on their own, there's no traffic to contend with, meaning that this is all about keeping your nerve and getting the maximum out of the car. So in a moment, we'll jump on board with one of our drivers for a lap around the track to get a driver's eye view of the ins and outs of this Silverstone circuit. And here we go now with Stuart Mcfadden, the returning Pure Sims driver, on board here as he makes his way around Cox Corner. Keeps the car in 5th gear just to keep it nice and settled, and then lets it drag wide on exit, using as much as the curb here as he dare to get away with. Brings the car over to the right-hand side now to get a straight entry into Maggots. Hard on the brakes now, slowest point in the track into 3rd gear. Hooks the car up nice and early. A little bit of the curb there on the inside before letting the car drag out wide, short shift into 4th gear, then it's up into 5th and along the Wellington straight. A little bit more power under the right foot this time round in the Audi as he prepares to go into Brooklands Corner, and this is the crucial one on the track. You've got to get this one absolutely spot on because it leads into your entry for Luffield, and it's got to be nice and clean and tidy, down into 3rd gear, dab of the brakes, and then it's all about being patient here. And it feels like it's the most never-ending corner of all of motorsport, but again, use all the curb on the outside there as well, up into 5th gear, into Woodcote. This is an easy flat, but again, just take as much of the curb there on the inside as you can before round for one lap of the Silverstone circuit. And look at the times already on the board. Stuart Mcfadden, he is currently leading the way. It's a 1:01 at the moment, and it's so tight as well, Pete. Look at that. Currently, as things stand, drivers from 1st into 16th, all within the 1:01 mark.
Yeah, during practice it was a similar scene. We had basically the whole field covered by just over a second. It was crazy. But yeah, Stuart Mcfadden certainly showing everybody what he's made of.
And it's got to show as well that, you know, if you qualify perhaps in in the midfield, you can still make your way through the pack, particularly in the first couple of laps as well, given that qualifying is so tight.
Yeah, absolutely. But with only 4 corners, you've got to make sure you get all of those corners absolutely correct. Otherwise, you're going to be giving away lap time. And it's so easy to do in iRacing, especially with this slidey car. And it looks quite hot out there. The times are not yet in the 1 minute. We do expect some times inside the 1 minute at some point. But temperatures clearly quite warm out there.
Yeah, they certainly are, and we're following, this is car number 369, Fraser Williamson, of course, the champion of the last Spring Cup, the Mcbride sim racing driver. He's just pulled off now to about that lap, currently 2nd at the moment, a 10th or so behind Stuart Mcfadden, who we follow at the moment, our current pole man, car number 53, the Pure Sims driver. And again, he's coming out here with a real statement of intent, I have to say. Very, very quick off the board. But look at that. Car number in second place at the moment. It's a new entry. It's Matthew Mcbride. He's making his debut in this Summer Cup. Car number 18, pulling off to the track. That's him. He's had enough. He's quite happy with that time on the board. And there is barely anything between him and Stuart Mcfadden. Very, very close between them. Russell Wheatley, of course, in third place at the moment as well. And I have to say, Pete, the standard is very, very high once again.
Yeah, and it's worth noting that with 5 minutes gone in qualifying, because it's such a small lap, we have so few drivers still setting laps because they have 4 laps to go in qualifying, and most of them have already done that. A couple of drivers are still out on track. Here we can see Adam just he's starting his lap now, so we can see how this goes. Currently P6.
Yep, currently P6 in the moment, just making his way into Maggots there. Hard on the brakes, and look at that, the front left there, really loaded up as he turns into the corner. Looks nice and clean on the exit, and he makes his way along the Wellington Straight at the moment, does car number 8, the Rethink Racing driver. And Pete, he's one, again, that's shown plenty of pace in the Spring Cup.
Yeah, it didn't all go his way. He had a few incidents with, some with his teammates actually, which were, But anyway, hopefully he can keep it clean today. And he should have a pretty strong Summer Cup if he can keep out of the way of the other drivers on the track. Because, like I said, it didn't go all his way. Lots to prove.
Yeah, and certainly, I dare say, one of the learnings from the Spring Cup is just about that opening lap, second lap, third lap, just keeping your car out of trouble, and then you can pick up the pieces and go from there.
Absolutely. As he comes through turn number 1, one of only 4 short corners on this 1 minute lap into the Maggots corner, which then turns onto the Wellington Straight. It's such a strange combo. You don't tend to see it that much. But it's a fun track for the drivers.
Certainly a fun track to watch as well. And because it's such a short lap, it does mean that we're in for a real treat here tonight. There's going to be so many overtaking opportunities, particularly into this corner here. I suspect, Brooklands, this is going to be such a tricky one. Watch out for those sausage curbs on the inside as well. And then this final corner, the one that really rewards the patient driver. It's just about being gentle on the throttle as well on exit here as Adam Brown comes off the final corner, a little bit into the gravel there as well. Just hear that into the car, but he's managed to get his way through here. Let's see if he improves this time round. So 1 minute 2 currently on the board, and he does. He takes a 10th off and moves into 4th place in qualifying at the moment. He leapfrogs our Spring Cup champion Fraser Williamson, who will start the race in 5th place as things stand. But a couple of interesting names in the mix there as well. Mike Mcpherson up there in 7th, Nathan Lamond, Sam Cousin, and Gary Brown and 10th place at the moment. But look at that, Jack Eyre currently in 11th place with a 1 minute 1.4.
Yeah, Jack will not be happy with that. If you remember back to his interview in the last round of the Spring Cup, he was saying that it didn't go his way either during the Spring Cup. And again, it looks like his first qualifying of this new series just hasn't gone well, as we see Sean Dobie dropping a wheel into Woodcut there.
And Sean Dobie's one of the final ones to post a time here. And it's an interesting one as well, Pete, because lots of drivers keen to get out there and get their times on the board early. But there's a lot to be said as well for just sitting back, taking your time, and then just going and putting your laps on the board and potentially springing a surprise. Yeah,
especially on such a short circuit, you just don't need to go out straight away. There's plenty of time in the session to sort that out. Sean's got that a little bit wrong into Maggots, but hopefully he can sort it out down Wellington and try and drag himself up the board. Currently P17. I'm sure he'd like a top 10 after a decent performance in the Spring Cup.
Certainly, and he's a driver capable of that as well. We're just waiting on times from Cameron Ritchie, Del Smith and Aidan Wilson. They're the final few cars out on track, but they're going to get time for, this will be their last lap, in fact, because we've got 20 seconds left in this session before the lights get underway for the first round of this Summer Cup. Sean Dobie's aborted that lap. He's not going to improve, so he'll start at least 17th on the grid for this one. And it's just a couple of moments to go now as we get ready for race number 1 in this Summer Cup. So qualifying is complete, the checker flag is out, and that means we are all set for the first event here at Silverstone, the national configuration, and we'll take you through the qualifying order for this one, and I can't wait to see how things get on. So there's our results there. Stuart Mcfadden leading the way with Matthew Mcbride and Russell Wheatley. A couple of other names as well. Scott Smith, 12th at the moment there with 4/10 off the top time. But look at that, 18th, 7/10 of a second. This is such a tight championship, I feel. Lots of drivers look quick in these cars.
Absolutely. And let's turn our attention to the grid then, as you mentioned.
It's Stuart Mcfadden on pole position, followed by Matthew Mcbride, Russell Wheatley in third, Adam Brown in fourth. Then it's our Spring Cup champion Fraser Williamson in fifth place, Josh Hislop sixth, Michael Mcpherson, Nathan Lamond, Sam Clausen, then Gary Brown rounds out your top 10. Jack Eyre is 11th, and then it's Scott Smith in 12th place.
Then we've got Mark Heron, Andrew Mckinley, Martin Buchan, Scott Hunter, Sean Doby, John Duncan, David Christie, and Robert McGregor rounding out the top 20, with John Higgins, James McIntosh, Stuart Winus, and J. Cameron Ritchie rounding out the top 24.
And then Dale Smith in 25th, Chris Peasook 26th, Jackie Chalmers in 27th, Dave Bolton, Aidan Wilson, Ryan Smith is 30th. It's Jonathan Glover, Scott Malcolm, and Tam Hamill in 33rd place. So not long to go now until the lights go out for the first race here. Stuart Mcfadden, car number 52, the blue car on the right, will be leading the way for this one. And he's got Matthew Mcbride alongside him on the front row of that grid, car number 18. I dare say a little bit of a wild card here. He's going to be an unknown quantity for a lot of these drivers. He's going to be new to the grid and he'll be keen to make an impression here, particularly in the first race here tonight. So we all get set. The cars begin to rev their engines here in anticipation for the first race here. There come the lights. They're about to go red. The cars are all getting set. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights up, and we're away. And it's a clean start for Stuart Mcfadden. He's got away very well indeed. Matthew Mcbride has got the inside line though, of course, into Copse Corner, but he's got no chance of making a move. Stuart Mcfadden with a tremendous start there, and he's already setting off into the distance. Looks like we've got away cleanly further behind as well with Matthew Mcbride, Adam Brown, Russell Wheatley has just been leapfrogged by Fraser Williamson. First time of asking as they make their way into Maggots, and again it looks like we're managed to get all the cars, all 33 round unscathed. Fraser Williamson's got a little bit of drama to contend with behind him. He's got Michael Mcpherson, Russell Wheatley, Josh Hislop and Nathan Lamond all hot on his heels, and he's got a little bit of a gap between him and Adam Brown there in the final podium position as things stand as well. But look at this, Adam Brown looking to make a move here as they go into Brooklands. Matthew Mcbride just a couple of tenths a second ahead of him. I don't think he's going to make it this time round, and look at that, we've almost got a lap completed here in the Silverstone National circuit. The Audis are making their way around very, very quickly indeed, and it looks like we've got all of them as at the moment. In fact, Martin Buchan's just dropped off slightly, so he's had a little bit of a moment at the start, but it's all kicking off straight away with Stuart Mcfadden. Look at that, 7/10 of a second gap from Matthew Mcbride. It's a real statement of intent from the race leader.
Absolutely, and it's interesting to see that the gap that Stuart Mcfadden's already managed to eke out over Matthew Mcbride. Matthew Mcbride, a new name to the championship, as you mentioned, currently under threat from Adam Brown through Woodcote.
Yeah, side by side here as they make their way now along the Wellington Straight, but Matthew Mcbride, he's got that inside line crucially into Brooklands. It looks like he's got the drive on Adam Brown as well, so Adam's going to have to live to fight another day here. Perhaps he'll maybe make a move into Luffield, depends how he gets going under braking. They're very, very close. Side by side, almost a little bit of contact there, but looks like Adam's run wide. That's allowed Fraser Williamson into contention here now, the Mervano Sim driver, as we ride on board with him. 2 cars in front of him now that are scrapping. That's allowing Fraser to gradually reel them in now. And he's got a little bit of breathing space with Josh Hislop in 5th place behind him, so that's allowing Fraser to focus on these 2 in front of them as they're side by side going into Cox Corner. 2 into 1's not going to stick, and Adam Brown, he takes 2nd place in this race from Matthew Mcbride, but it's not all over yet. Fraser Williamson looking to get involved here as well as they make their way down the straight and into Maggots. Looks like Matthew's just about got this one covered off, and it's Adam Brown still 2nd, Mcbride in 3rd, Fraser Williamson in 4th place.
Excellent stuff. Super clean from these top guys. Possibly some contact between Matthew and Adam. Man on the move at the moment after his qualified P11. He's up to P9. It's Jack Eyre. He's got past Russell Wheatley just then.
Yeah, good start for Jack. Third lap in this race. He's got quite a number of cars ahead of him. Scott Smith and Nathan Lamond, currently car number 222 on the inside line, the kind of green car. He's got that one covered off there. But look at that, Jack's making a move. He's throwing that car up the inside into Luffield. Looks like he's managed to get his way past Scott Smith in the red car, who runs wide, and that means he's now compromised with Russell Wheatley looking to make a move, and he has indeed made that move stick. Got the inside line there, has the green car as they make their way into Cops Corner. Scott looking to try and get a cut back in there. And he's so close, but not managing to get round at the moment. In fact, look at that. There we go. He's just run wide. And there's a little bit of contact there. But Scott Smith managing to keep ninth place. And it's, oh, this is it. The elbows are out now. It's Touring Car Championship here. And it's lots of drivers keen to make their presence felt.
Yeah, Russell's lost a handful of positions. He's losing even more now because he's on the outside of these really tight corners, and he's lost a ton of momentum. That's Sean Doby now behind him. And who's that ahead of him? David Christie. So Dave is going to have to defend this one.
And Dave's had a very good start to this race as well. Up 6 places from when he started as the Canberra Media Racing driver, car number 64 there. And he's got a good exit out to Brooklands end as well. I wonder if he's going to perhaps make a little bit of move there. He's certainly got a good run on Andrew Mckinley, the car in front. And yeah, Dave's one that's certainly had a really good start to this race. And right into the slipstream as well. And the slipstream in these cars is very powerful. And he's certainly one to keep an eye on with 4 minutes gone in this race. But we're on looking further ahead now. It's Michael Mcpherson, 6th place at the moment, and he's looking to make a move on Josh Hislop. Look at that, there's barely anything between those two cars. 2 green cars in contention here as they make their way into Maggots, and Michael Mcpherson just a little bit too far back this time round. Perhaps he's biding his time, because if he can get into the throw here along the Wellington Straight, he could potentially throw that car up the inside into Brooklands. And Josh Hislop, again, he's taking a bit of a wide line there. I thought he would maybe just keep the car narrow and force Michael Mcpherson wide, but he's not done that this round. And then it looks like that Michael Mcpherson is just going to have to bide his time before he makes a move.
Yeah, as you mentioned, there's plenty of straights to tuck in under the huge rear wing on these Audi RS3 LMS TCR cars. And here's another opportunity down the home straight.
Yeah, it certainly is. And again, look at that. They're taking all of the track and a little bit more there into Woodcote. And Michael Mcpherson still looking to make a move there, going very narrow. And Josh Hislop's shutting the door this time round. Let's see how clean he gets round in the exit. Both cars running wide, in fact. Look at that. Both cars off. That will almost certainly be an off track. Fraser Williamson looking to make a move, though, into 3rd place. Matthew Mcbride, car number 18, ahead of him, going under a little bit of pressure from our Spring Cup champion. He's gone a little bit wide there as well, his Matthew. That's going to bring Fraser into contention here as they make their way along the Wellington Straight. They're side by side, but Fraser's on the outside line here as they go into Brooklands. That's going to compromise him here. Stuart and Adam Brown actually just weaving out the way as well. I wonder if he's perhaps had a bit of a slow exit into the corner, and McBride's got the inside line, but he's not managing to make this one stick, because look at that, he's now on the outside into Luffield. So Fraser Williamson says thanks very much, and I'll move into the podium place here in race number 1.
Yeah, such is the pace of Fraser that Adam hasn't really got away from him while those two were battling. Meanwhile, at the front, the gap between Stuart and Adam is around about 3 seconds. So Stuart really is putting on the show at the front.
Certainly is, and with only 6 minutes gone in this race, that's a very impressive lead that he's built up already, I have to say. 2nd place man at the moment, Adam Brown, again coming under pressure from Fraser Williamson and Matthew Mcbride. Got a breathing space of perhaps a couple of tenths of a second here, but looks like he's a little bit slow into Maggots. A very good exit from Fraser Williamson here. Let's see if he makes a move here. The Mervano Sim racer, car number 369, is looming. He's coming closer and closer, trying to make a move, and he darts now into the inside line. Adam looks like he's not going to be able to fight this one too much, and he's going a little bit wide there, has he? And that allows Fraser Williamson to come in cleanly. And I think Fraser Williamson, he's on the outside line. I think he's got a little bit of a drive here. Let's see if he can make it stick. He's going to use all the track and then some. In fact, he just got caught off there in the exit, and that's brought Matthew Mcbride into contention here now as well. Pure drama here. 3 cars all battling it out for 2nd place in this race. It's side by side ahead of us. Williamson and Brown. Williamson backs out of it, and Adam Brown lives to fight another day. But Williamson again looking to have a move here as Brown's kind of ran a little bit wide. That's allowed Williamson to slip up into 2nd place momentarily as they move into Maggots. But he's got the inside line. They're trading places, corner after corner of these 3. Almost a little bit of contact. There's centimetres between them. And in fact, there is contact. There is contact there as Adam Brown's been compromised there on exit. and Fraser Williamson still managing to hold on to second place, but there's Matthew Mcbride looking to get involved as well. We're 3 wide going into Brooklands, and it's Matthew Mcbride. He's just a little bit too far off though, and Adam Brown now into second place, and I can barely keep up here, Pete. This is absolutely great drama in the opener here tonight.
I'm going to have to change your oxygen canister, Andy. It's good to see that nothing changes in the SMRC's 2021 iRacing Championship. The guys are as close as ever at the front. We thought maybe that it would be a bit of a change moving up to the TCRs, but nah, they're still nose to tail, unless you're Stuart Mcfadden. Oh, Fraser!
Oh, a big moment for Fraser Williamson. He's just managed to keep that car on track, but it's brought again Matthew Mcbride into contention. They change places. Mcbride into third place. Josh Hislop looking to get involved as well, as is Michael Mcpherson. Williamson's on the outside. He's a little bit messy there on the exit. The car was looking unsteady as it went over the curbs, bringing Josh Hislop into contention here as well. Car number 23, the green one, on the outside line at the moment. And look at that fantastic camera shot here. We've got the blimp cam. And it's 4 cars in a pack behind Adam Brown, who's got a little bit of breathing space, so he can just focus on the track ahead at the moment. Williamson goes round the outside here, momentarily into third place. And Mcbride, again, looking to fight back. Oh, he's just dropped off here, and that's bringing Josh Hislop into contention now. Hislop on the inside line. A little bit of a draft there from Williamson as well. That's going to help him here on exit. Let's see if Hislop can make a move. Hislop and Mcpherson having a really good scrap. Normally that would of course cost you time, but because the cars in front of them are battling out as well, they're managing to keep involved in here. So we've got a really good battle here. 5 cars all looking to get involved and potentially into second and third place in this opener, as Josh Hislop is looking to once again make a move. It's got Matthew Mcbride to contend with, and Mcbride on the outside line as they make their way into Maggots, and again just a little bit too far ahead though, and it looks like, I wondered if Josh Hislop's had a little bit of a moment there, perhaps break early, because look at that, Michael Mcpherson is now coming into contention here as well. Mcbride, however, in the meantime has dropped all the way down to 6th place, so a little over 5 minutes to go in this one, and they're trading places corner after corner, and it's so hard to call how this one is going to end up.
Well, man on the move, as we mentioned earlier, Jack Eyre is gradually creeping up towards the front guys. There's a bit of a void, but like you said, there's still 5 minutes to go, and we've already done 10 laps. So this tiny little track is one of the shortest tracks that we've had in the SMRC series to date. I think the last time we used it was at the final of the 2019 SMRC iRacing Championship, fought out on stage in Glasgow between Sam Corson and Kevin Ellis Jr.
Yes, indeed, and Sam Corson currently 9th place at the moment, and he'll be making his debut in the SMRC this season, and this weekend, in fact, because he'll be driving in the Citroen C1 Cup. I'm really looking forward to seeing how he gets on there, our inaugural virtual to reality winner in the SMRC. So Sam's certainly one to keep an eye on, very quick in the virtual world, and it'll be fascinating to see how he gets on at Knockhill this weekend. Meanwhile, we'll follow 13th place here, the battle for that position. It's Sean Dobie currently holding on to it at the moment, but he's got a new driver ahead of him, car number 10, Andrew Mckinley, making his debut in the Summer Cup, and he's currently managing to fend off that position, but we'll head back to the front for just a moment. It's Fraser Williamson. He's closing in on Adam Brown. A little bit of a gap between him and Josh Hislop though, so they've fallen behind a little bit. Fraser's looking to make a move. He's on the outside though going into Cup, so surely that's not going to stick. He's earlier on the brakes into the corner as a result, and Adam Brown managing to hold on, but look at that now. Fraser is beginning to reel him in as they make their way into Maggots. Again, he's on the outside though, momentarily into second place. He's got that nose in front, but Adam Brown's crucially got the inside line. But it's going to be a battle of who's the bravest on the brakes here. Adam Brown just running Fraser out wide a little bit there as well. Eventually that now gives Fraser Williamson the inside lead into Brooklands. Side-by-side stuff here around half a lap. Fantastic racing from the two of them. But that's bringing Josh Hislop back into contention as well. Car number 23 looking to make a move as well. And it's Williamson. He's got the inside line. He's got the position. But Adam Brown's still looking to fight back. He's got a little bit of momentum, but he's on the outside line. He's on the outside line, and that's bringing Josh Hislop into contention. And it's all kicking off here with a couple of minutes left to go. It's Josh Hislop looking to get his way into a podium place. So Adam Brown shuts the door momentarily as they go into Woodcote. And there's barely a couple of tenths between them as they make their way down the back straight and into Copse Corner. It's so close, centimetres between these cars. They're almost quite into contact, but Josh Hislop still in 4th place at the moment, and we've got Matthew Mcbride looking to get involved once again, just in the rear of that group. Michael Mcpherson managing to hold in his own in there as well. He's another driver who's had a good race so far, up 2 places from where he started, but he's on the outside line at the moment. That's bringing Mcbride back into contention. Meanwhile, at the front, it's Williamson still from Brown, Hislop in 4th place now. And this has been some great clean racing between this group, and still a couple of minutes left to go, so we should get 2 or 3 laps left in this opener. But Williamson's gone wide into Brooklands. That brings Adam Brown into contention. He's into 2nd place. He's going to shut the door as well into Luffield. Good bit of driving from the Rethink Racing driver, and he's managing to pull off a couple of tenths of a second gap from Williamson by the looks of it as well. Josh Hislop still managing to lurk in the shadows, and I suspect he's one that's going to make a move in the last lap of this race. He's looking at Adam Brown and Fraser Williamson, and he's saying, the more you guys keep scrapping, I'll come there and pick up the pieces. Williamson just darting out into the mirrors of Brown, saying, I'm here, I'm looking to make a move, and let's see if Adam can manage to make it stick here. He's doing a great job of defending that 2nd place as they make their way into Maggots. Hard on the brakes now, slowest corner on the track. He's got a good line in there. Fraser just a little bit tighter perhaps though on exit, and that allows him to get a little bit of momentum here as we ride on board with the Mirvano Sim Racing driver. The car ahead of him, Adam Brown's gone very narrow down the Wellington Straight. Will he commit to the left-hand side? No, he thinks better of it. He goes to the right. That gives Williamson the inside for this corner, but of course the outside for Luffield. So if Adam can just hang on in there, he should retain this position. All the meanwhile, look at that. Josh Hislop is looking to get involved as well. And can he follow through with Adam Brown? I think he's just a little bit too far off. Fraser Williamson still got 3rd place in the moment. He's out wide though. Look at that, they're changing places there. There's tenths of a second between this batch. Williamson currently in 2nd. This will almost certainly surely be the last lap. 30 seconds left of the 15 minutes left in this allocated race. And it's Williamson out on the outside here. Adam Brown in 3rd place. We're riding on board with Josh Hislop, and now look at that. There's 5 cars here that could all finish 2nd and 3rd. Williamson at the moment, he's on the outside line though. Like he's just gone a little bit wide. That brings Adam Brown into contention. Josh Hislop, Michael Mcpherson still looking lively. Those 2 green cars looking to get involved. Williamson committing to the inside line though at the moment. Will he throw that car out wide in the braking phase? Let's see how he does. And in fact, he does go out wide. Adam Brown though, he's made a late move, and Josh Hislop looking to get involved as well. And Brown's made a late move. He's into 2nd at the moment. They make a little bit of contact there by the looks of it, but Williamson's got 2nd place. He's managed to hold on. If he can get a clean exit, he should surely hold on to it. Adam Brown out wide. That's bringing Josh Hislop into contention here. Josh has managed to get a good drive on exit as well. Side-by-side stuff, but all the meantime, that man there, Stuart Mcfadden, says, thanks very much. I'll take all 35 points. But Fraser Williamson holds on to 2nd place. Adam Brown takes the final step on the podium. Josh Hislop, Michael Mcpherson, Matthew Mcbride rounding out an excellent scrap for the top 6 places. And we see Andrew Mckinley, of course, holding on to 12th place. Dave Christie, a very good race for him, the driver there in 11th place at the moment. Camber Media Racing, a very good race from him, up 8 places from where he started. Jonathan Glover there, 21st. Jackie Chalmers, 22nd. But wow, what an opener that was, Pete. Fantastic racing from start to finish.
You need a glass of water, Andy. Unbelievable. Stuart Mcfadden was barely on screen for the entirety of that because the cameras were well and truly focused on that battle from 2nd down to what must have been, around 7th place. In the end, Jack not able to get involved in it as much as he wanted to. We have a minute until the lights go out for race number 2, Andy. So should we head down the grid order?
Absolutely. It'll be great to see that. And it's the Stuart Mcfadden. It was a comfortable win for him in the opener. Fraser Williamson managing to take 2nd place. Adam Brown in 3rd. Josh Hislop on 4th. Michael Mcpherson starts this race in 5th place. Then it's Matthew Mcbride. Jack Eyre, Sam Corzine, Nathan Lambert and Scott Smith rounds out the top 10. Dave Christie starts in 11th and Andrew Mckinley is in 12th place.
Then we've got Sean Doby, Robert McGregor, Russell Wheatley, John Duncan, Aidan Wilson, Mark Heron, Tam Hamill, Jonathan Glover, Cameron Ritchie, Jackie Chalmers, Scott Hunter and Ryan Smith.
25th place is Dave Bolton, James McIntosh, Chris Peasook, Del Smith, Stuart Wyness, Gaz Brown in 30th, John Higgins in 31st, Martin Buchan in 32nd, Scott Malcolm in 33rd place. Well, if the first race was anything to go by, I'm really looking forward to race number 2. The lights go up, they hold it red, and they're away. They're away very, very early. It's another good start from Stuart Mcfadden. Fraser Williamson darts across into the draft of Williamson, and he's Williamson managing to cover off Adam Brown, I should say. Mcfadden, very good start once again, though. Look at that. Already he's got another couple of tenths of a second from the chasing pack. Jack Hare into 5th place. He's made up 2 places already. Michael Mcpherson up 1 place as well. Scott Smith exchanging places with Andrew Mckinley further back. Jack Hare's gone wide though. Car number 13, the purple Rethink Racing driver's gone wide on Maggot. Sean Doby off as well. He's tumbling down the order. 21st place at the moment. There he is, car number 159. He's got a little bit of pressure behind him as well. All the meanwhile, at the front, it's Stuart Mcfadden from Fraser Williamson. Adam Brown overtakes Matthew Mcbride into 3rd place at the moment, but Mcbride has got the inside line, of course, the crucial inside line into Lovefield, but he's a little bit too far back there, in fact. It doesn't look like he's perhaps got the cleanest of exits, so it looks like Adam Brown could well still be involved. However, look at that car number 23, Josh Hislop. He's been lurking in the shadows all throughout race number 1, but he's wanting to get involved in race number 2. He's got the inside line here at the moment, and it looks like he's going to be one driver moving up a place there, and he says thanks very much to the Rethink Racing driver. He's moved up into 4th place at the moment. Matthew Mcbride in 3rd place, our debutant in the Summer Cup. He's had a very impressive opener, but he'll be looking to get into podium contention here in the 2nd race of the evening. Josh Hislop on 4th place on the outside line there. A little bit of contact there, but they're managing to live to fight another day. It is touring cars after all. It's Adam Brown, car number 8, still in 4th place. Sam Corzin making a move up 3 places from where he started. And we've got contact further behind. Chris Pisuk is in the barriers and out of this one. And John Duncan, Jackie Chalmers also in the pit lane. So they've all had a moment in the opening laps. A little bit of puff of smoke further behind there. Jackie are currently in 9th place. There he is, the car number 13, the purple Rethink Racing driver. Has got a little bit of drama behind him with Robert McGregor and Andrew Mckinley swapping places. Dave Christie, the yellow Camber Media Racing car, looking to get involved as well. He's got the inside line, has Dave, looking to perhaps make a move. Just ahead of us, it's Jack Hare in 8th place at the moment. Scott Smith ahead of him. Scott Smith had a very good opening couple of laps as well, up 3 places from where he started, but there's been contact further behind, and it's Andrew Mckinley, car number 10, managed to keep that Audi facing the right way, thankfully, but it's been 2 cars that have come together ahead of Cops Corner, and that could have been perhaps even worse, but they've managed to live to fight another day. A little bit more of a hip check there, Jack Hare, fending off the cars behind them, but look at that, Josh Hislop takes the inside line, 3 cars behind him to defend though. But yes, this would be another great couple of laps. Jack Hare on the outside line as they make their way into Brooklands. Looks like he's got a little bit of momentum though. Can he make that car stick? Further in front, Adam Brown, 4th place at the moment. He's got Sam Corson behind him in 5th. And Michael Mcpherson into podium contention for the first time so far this evening. So it's been a good couple of laps from car number 26. But Jack Hare currently making moves, still in 7th place in this race. Looks like Dave Christie's just gone a little bit wider into Woodcote and dropped down the order into 14th at the moment. But pure drama once again, and only 3 minutes gone in this race, Pete.
Yeah, 3 minutes gone, and if the first race wasn't touring car enough for you, the second race certainly was. Plenty of paint being swapped between the drivers. The SMRC said they wanted a touring car championship. I think they've got one.
Oh, absolutely. It's been fantastic drama, and again, centimetres between the bumper of Jack Hare there and the red car of Scott Smith. And it's Matthew Mcbride looking to get involved as well. Car number 18 on the outside. Jack Hare's got the inside though. But again, what we're seeing time and time again is this is where the moves are getting done. One driver's on the inside, the next corner they're on the outside, and it's just back and forth throughout here. But Scott Smith holding his own there in 7th place, having a very impressive race so far, I have to say, as the not kill man. But it's Fraser Williamson at the front here, 6/10 of a second between him and Stuart Mcfadden. So Stuart is in slipstream. Fraser is in slipstream range, I should say. Just posted the fastest lap of the race, has Fraser last time around. But look at that, you could barely split them. Both with a 1:08. There's nothing to split these two guys. Two very, very quick drivers. And I suspect there'll be lots of drama between now and the end of this race. Further back, 4th place man, Adam Brown, looking to make a little bit of a move on Michael Mcpherson. Jack Hare there running wide behind it. That's allowing Scott Smith to make a move. Car number 82, the red car, got the inside line into Maggots there. He's got the drive as well, but look at that, Matthew Mcbride almost making that 3 wide into the Wellington straight. Will Mcbride have a late move into air here, I wonder, into Brooklands? Let's get a look. And he's just, no, in fact, he's going to try and perhaps make a move on Scott Smith, but Scott Smith takes a very, very narrow line into Brooklands to close the door. Again goes narrow into Luffield. That leaves no room for Matthew Mcbride to make a move. All in the meantime, car number 7, Jack Hare, very, very close. Very, very close indeed with Scott Smith coming out the final corner. They make their way around Woodcote now. Look at that, Jack Hare is just managing to fend off Scott Smith, but Scott Smith looking like he's got the inside line, just perhaps a little bit too far back. But Jack breaks a little bit early. In fact, perhaps he's maybe just giving him the position and trying to take it back on exit. But this is, again, great scrapping here between 4 cars, all looking to get involved to take 7th place in this race. Jack Hare now on the outside as they go into Maggots. And again, Scott's just a little bit behind there, but looks out. In fact, Jack's a little bit slow out of Maggots there. And again, look at that. That's bringing Scott Smith into contention. I wonder if that's a recurring issue there. Jack's maybe just struggling to get the power down coming out of Maggots, Pete, because one of the things the drivers were talking about is having to be delicate on the throttle, and a couple of drivers saying they're just stabbing at it a couple of times and before they get the power down and then get themselves out of the corner.
Yeah, especially the wide line. If you try to hold the wide line around there, it's not a line you're as used to taking unless you're practicing or, with your teammates or whatever. So Scott, just on the inside line, able to get a better exit. As we have further up, we've got Adam Brown getting pretty close to the back of the likes of Michael Mcpherson there in the white and green car. So Adam trying to get back on the podium after the top 2 have basically disappeared up the road again. But Fraser much more able to keep on the back of Stuart this time round.
Yeah, certainly. He's still within slipstream, so he's not out of this fight just yet, but 0.7 of a second is the gap between him and our race leader, Stuart Mcfadden. But it's Adam Brown still holding on 4th place at the moment, with Sam Corzin now in 5th place. He's up 3 places from where he started. A couple of drivers just worth giving a quick shout out to as well. Martin Buchan in 20th. He started this race in 32nd place, so he's having a great one so far. Scott Malcolm further up the road in 16th, up 17 places from where he started. And just ahead of him, John Higgins, 15th place at the moment, up 16 places from where he started as well. So 3 drivers making moves in this crucial second race. And it's Aidan Wilson at the moment, who's currently in 12th place. Another man having an impressive race so far, up 5 from his starting position. He's got Dave Christie in 13th behind him, but Dave's coming under a little bit of pressure from Cameron Ritchie behind him. Ritchie in car 41 on the outside line though. A little bit of contact further ahead though as we follow the gap for the podium places. Adam Brown just managing to hold on to 3rd place. Michael Mcpherson though, the green car on the inside line, forcing Josh Hislop. In fact, Josh Hislop just a little bit further back there. Looks like he's going to make a move there. It's Sam Clausen, the Rethink Racing driver, just out wide. Josh Hislop just a little bit too far off, I think, to make a move this time round. But Michael Mcpherson, now he's got his eyes firmly focused on Adam Brown ahead in 3rd place. Michael Mcpherson was in podium contention earlier in this race, of course, so he'd be keen to get back up there with 7 minutes or so left in race number 2 here this evening. But further back there, Sam Clausen, it's very, very, very close indeed between Hislop and Corson. Both looking to exchange places once again. Hislop got the inside line though, of course, and it's very, very tight between them. Let's see if he can manage to retain it this time round. Both of them brave on the brakes going into Cop's corner, and Josh Hislop again managing just to keep Sam Corzin at bay here. And in the meantime, what that's allowed is Michael Mcpherson and Adam Brown just to disappear up the road ever so slightly, perhaps for 0.5 of a second. Is the gap between Hislop and Mcpherson. Just further back is Jack Hare, car number 7, looking to get involved alongside Scott Smith, with Matthew Mcbride 9th place at the moment. He's dropped back ever so slightly. Started this race in 6th place, did our new debutant, but currently 9th in the standings at the moment. But Scott Smith, 8th place, there is Matthew Mcbride, car number 18, just a little bit further back. But do you know what, Pete? I think for his debut, he's doing very well as Matthew. We spoke earlier in the show about the pace of the cars on the grid, and Matthew certainly looks like he's going to be one to watch in this Summer Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm pretty sure that Matthew Mcbride would love to, in the next 5 minutes, catch up to Scott Smith, because Scott Smith currently holds the all-important 8th place in race 2, which, if you remember back to the Spring Cup, ends up being pole position for race number 3. So I'm pretty sure Scott will be quite happy sitting behind Jack for a little bit and then deciding in the last few laps whether he's going to go for the points or the pole.
Yeah, absolutely. And what we're seeing in this race as well, which is quite interesting, is the drivers are exchanging places corner after corner. what we've seen previously in the MX5s in the Spring Cup, and Michael Weddle was a great example of this, was he would just hold back and then make his move in the final minutes of the race. But one driver not hanging about at the moment is Dave Christie. He's made a great move up on the inside there, and Aidan Wilson, he's up into 12th place at the moment. But there's contact further behind, Cameron Ritchie involved, and two cars have managed to make their way through those cars there, but it's not much room at all. Cameron Ritchie, Scott Malcolm, both tumbling down the order on the Wellington Straight, and thankfully no one else has come out with damage. And yeah, that was a nasty one there, but it looks like both cars have just gone into the pit lane, I believe. But yes, John Higgins, 15th place at the moment. Sean Dobie taking 10th there as well. Great action throughout the grid here, I have to say. Dave Christie, 12th at the moment as well. Again, he's one driver who's had a very good couple of races so far, but a little bit of drama behind him. That's allowing Dave just to focus again on the track ahead and just pull away ever so slightly. 3 cars in contention, all battling it out, and the longer they do that, Pete, that's costing them time. But back at the front, Michael Mcpherson, 4th place, hot on the heels of Adam Brown for that final podium position, and this will be contention for that last place. Fraser Williamson too far up the road, and he's looking to take that win from Stuart Mcfadden. But it's Brown at the moment on the inside line that's forcing Mcpherson out wide. He's not got much room there, but he's just managing to get a better exit, and closing in on Brown is Ferson. And in the meantime, Josh Hislop just lurking in the wings as well. And we've got Sam Coston and Jack Hare further behind. Scott Smith in that all-important 8th place with a few minutes left to go. So we'll perhaps get 3 or so laps left in race number 2 as Brown goes on the outside into Cops Corner, closes the door on Mcpherson. Mcpherson running wide, using all the curbs in there a little bit more. But it looks like he's sandwiched between Brown and Hislop. It looks like he's not going to be able to make a move into Maggots. But Josh Hislop just dropping off ever so slightly. Perhaps he's looking to try and get a cleaner exit and then a run along the Wellington Straight. But it's so close to 12 between these 3 drivers, Pete. And it's Adam Brown at the moment weaving along the Wellington Straight and hanging on to 3rd place in this race.
Yeah, it's a carbon copy of last race, isn't it? Where Adam's trying to hold on to a podium, and it's another, well, 2 green cars behind him trying to do the deed. Michael Mcpherson there trying to find a line around the outside. It's not quite going to work. He's going to try the cutback. Ooh, nose to tail as they come through the final corner. And yeah, he's going to try it again down into turn 1, which is where quite a lot of the drivers have been having a sniff. And you're kind of at the mercy of the driver in front as to whether they're going to let you have the room. And there you can see a statement of intent from Adam Brown. He goes right to the inside, covers it off. Oh, and there's contact, and Adam spins out. That's going to be terrible for his race too.
Dear. Adam Brown is off. The racing driver is off. He's in the gravel. That's costing him all sorts of time. He's tumbling down the order. But meanwhile, Michael Mcpherson is on the final step of the podium with a couple of minutes left in this race. Thought Adam Brown had managed to close the door there, but he just cut across the nose of Mcpherson, and that means that he's tumbled well down the order, and that's really going to cost him in the final race. In the meantime, Matthew Mcbride, 8th place at the moment, so he currently starts the finale in 1st place. Scott Smith has moved up 1 place, of course, during all the drama. And wow, this has been a real treat here so far tonight. And I tell you what, 2 minutes or so left to go in this one, and it's still anyone's race.
Absolutely is. We haven't looked at the gap at the front, but there you are. There's the gap at the front. That is Fraser Williamson following Stuart Mcfadden. Pretty much nothing in it, but this has been the case since the beginning. So these two just in a league of their own at the moment. They're so far ahead. But yeah, it does look like Fraser is nibbling away at the heels of Mcfadden in the final laps of this race, Andy.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that I've noticed, and a number of drivers have picked up on as well, is the consistency of Stuart Mcfadden. Just lap after lap. There's maybe a 10th or so here and there. He manages to just put in some stunning times across the board, and that makes you so difficult to beat as a driver if you're just managing to pick your braking points every single corner. And just further back, Stuart Wagness, 17th place, car number 61 at the moment. He's had a great race, started this race in 29, so he's been very impressive in the second race here this evening. Aidan Wilson, car number 12, just behind the multicoloured car of Sean Dobie in front. Looking to perhaps make a move there. All 3 cars taking a narrow line around Luffield. And Wilson just got Martin Buchan to contend with behind, and Stu Wyness as well looking to get involved. Andrew Mckinley, of course, who had a moment earlier on in this race, down in 18th place. So he's a driver that we know's got pace and will be looking to get involved. 14 minutes 40 on the clock, though, so this will almost certainly be the last lap of race number 2 here this evening. And it looks like Buchan has got a little bit of drama to contend with as well. Sean Dobie just setting off into the sunset, though. 4 cars behind him all scrapping, so that's great news for him. And look at that. Oh, very, very close. A little bit of contact there between the 4 of them. And then McKinley's got contact as well. McCann, but of all cars managing to face the right way, thankfully. And yes, it's Scott Hunter, Dave Bolton looking to get involved in there as well. Of course, up to 25th place for the points-paying positions. But we follow that man across the line, Stuart Mcfadden, who makes it 2 for 2 here tonight. Fraser Williamson ran him all the way, though, and it's Michael Mcpherson who's going to take the final step of the podium in race number 2, followed by Josh Hislop, Sam Causing, Jack Eyre with a good race in 6th place, Scott Smith's in 7th, and Matthew Mcbride in 8th, and the pole position place in the final race this evening. As we look further back to the final points-paying positions, car number 91, Mark Herron, looking to make a move on the yellow car of Jonathan Glover ahead of him. He's got a good run into Woodcote, but he's just a little bit too far behind by the looks of it. So he's not going to make up any ground, unfortunately for him. But wow, what another absolutely fantastic race from start to finish throughout the pack. And it's that man, Stuart Mcfadden, once again, who leads the way, Pete.
Yeah, an absolute masterclass. He starts the championship the way I'm sure he'd love it to finish, 2 from 2. But it's going to be a change of scenery for him in race number 3 as he starts from 8th place.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the one thing we've noticed in the Spring Cup as well, of course, is that kind of the driver that finishes 8th that starts in pole. They do hold their own in there, and it's real. It really does mix the action up in the final race. But there's the results here from the consolation. Stuart Mcfadden winning from just 0.3 of a second from Fraser Williamson. Michael Mcpherson in 3rd place. Josh Hislop, Sam Causing, Jack Eyre, Scott Smith, Matthew Mcbride in 8th. Robert McGregor, then Russell Wheatley rounding out the top 10. Adam Brown in 10th place. Dave Christie in 12th. John Higgins, Sean Dobie, Martin Buchan, Aidan Wilson in 16th. Stu Wyness in 17th. Andrew Mckinley rounding out the race in 18th place. And yes, that's an absolutely fantastic second race here this evening. Let's look just slightly further down the order. Scott Hunter in 19th. Dave Bolton in 20th. Jonathan Glover, Mark Herron, Cameron Ritchie, Gaz Brown, James McIntosh taking the final points-paying position in that race. So we've got a few minutes between now and the final race. The drivers are allowed a little bit of a warm-up just to get there, just cool down, reflect on the 2 races that we've had so far this evening. And Pete, it's been a real treat here so far tonight.
Yeah, it's been fun being on the other side of the action for once and watching this all unfold and trying to make some sort of sense of it. But you did a fantastic job keeping up with all of that. Yeah, how does this compare, Andy, to watching and commentating on the MX5s, which you did for 6 rounds in the previous series? It's
far too fast. I need to slow down. I can't keep up.
Well, yeah, it's interesting you say that, because one thing I noticed was that, obviously the drivers have been driving the MX5s for 3 months, the better part of, and I have to say they've done a pretty good job transitioning to the front-wheel drive TCR car for this, and it's been absolutely awesome to watch them for the first 2 races. The first race, I have to say, it looked from our commentary position to be a little bit cleaner, so maybe they were just testing the waters, Andy.
Well, perhaps. Yes, of course, worth mentioning that all results are provisional. The drivers can file a protest. They've got up to an hour or so after the race to do so, and then our stewards, alongside clerk of the course, Steve Burns, can review any incidents and then make any decision accordingly on that. So, of course, all results are provisional, but yes, touring car racing, the elbows are out, aren't they? Of course they are. But it's been great racing so far tonight. And as you mentioned, the drivers doing very well managing the transition from the MX-5s to these Audi cars. I find these cars are very, very understeery. They just you turn in and there's just nothing there. You've got to be so smooth and delicate with these cars. They're not ones that I think that there is a temptation of getting a little bit frustrated and trying to overdrive them, Pete. But Stuart Mcfadden showing how it's done at the front. It's been very, very smooth and maximising performance out of the car.
Yeah, Stuart Mcfadden will have to do his best from P8. And yeah, the drivers, the top 8 are reversed for race 3, which is coming up in about a minute and a half's time. The gridding for that. So yeah, this championship, of course, is heading to the SMRC's home track, Knockhill, if iRacing release it in time. What do you reckon? That's going to be a fun one if that gets into this series.
I think that'll be absolutely fantastic. It's great to have Knockhill confirmed on iRacing. Fingers crossed it will be on the calendar for this one. iRacing will be performing a couple of updates in the next few weeks, so hopefully we'll have Knockhill on the calendar for that. It would be fantastic if that is the case. Of course, this Summer Cup is going to a number of fantastic races, or fantastic venues, I should say, across the series. Brands Hatch, Donington, Snetterton, Oulton Park. So all real heritage tracks in UK motorsport. A couple of tight and twisty circuits in there as well. So that'll, I'm sure, serve up some fantastic racing for this one.
Yeah, it certainly will. We had a bit of a worldwide tour for the last MX5 series, but this one should be an all UK affair, hopefully. And we have 30 seconds remaining, Andy.
Oh, 30 seconds. Here we go then. The final race here tonight. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this thing all shapes up. Stuart Mcfadden will be, of course, starting this race in 8th place. So it'll be very, very interesting to see how he makes a move through the pack.
Yeah, it's always a little bit tense at the start of the final race. Whoever's on pole position is going to be absolutely flying. So we've got, the grid is being formed up now, Andy. Great
stuff. And here we go. It's there's the final results there. Just a quick refresher of that. The final few points paying positions coming up to 25th place. Of course, you get 1 point from there, and then the points paying positions gradually increase throughout. So, just a few moments to go until the final race here this evening at the Silverstone National configuration. That's that new fantastic pit lane down the bottom half of the track there. The cars are lining up. Mcbride leading the way from Smith. Eyre in 3rd. Corson in 4th. Hislop in 5th. Mike Mcpherson 6th place. Fraser Williamson in 7th. Stuart Mcfadden starting this race from 8th place. Robert McGregor in 9th. Russell Wheatley rounding out the top 10. So here we go. Clock ticking down. 20 seconds or so left in this one. Just waiting for the final few cars to line up on the grid. This is a moment to pause, calm yourself down, take a breather, and look ahead to the final 15 minutes of action that we've got here tonight. And this is always a nervy time for the drivers. A couple of them perhaps revving the engines, looking to make a move. I think as the lights come up now for us, here come the red lights. 3 up, 4 up, 5 up, ready to go. The lights are off, and Mcbride gets away from the start cleanly. Scott Smith, the red car on the inside, just falling back ever so slightly. That's bringing Jack Eyre, the purple car, on the outside into contention. Eyre's on the outside though, so that's bringing the rest of the cars into play as well. Looks like they've all got around Cop's corner cleanly, but Matthew Mcbride is sailing off into the sunset. Fantastic start from him, and that means the rest of the pack have got it all to do. Further behind, looks like there's almost going to be a little bit of contact, and there is contact. It looks like there's been contact there. Perhaps, I think that may well have been Stuart Mcfadden, not too sure on that one, but side-by-side action into Maggott's corners, always going to result in drama. And yes, there's almost 3 abreast there, further back into Brooklands corner for the first time of asking. Williamson looking to get involved there as well. Williamson on the outside, in the inside line, I beg your pardon. Mcfadden in 5th place, so he's already made up 3 places, as is a man ahead of him. Michael Mcpherson, he's one on the move as well, but it's Mcbride leading away. 7/10 of a second is the gap. Eyre in 3rd place, all making their way around Woodcock corner cleanly. Couple going side by side. There's Williamson on the outside, 10th place at the moment, looking to make a move on Russell Wheatley. John Higgins is in the way for him though, so he can't make that car stick. He's having to back out of that this time of asking at Cop's corner. Perhaps he'll make a move into Maggott's. But yes, lots of drama. But look at this, Matthew Mcbride, the debutant, leading the way here in the final race this evening. He's managing to stretch out that gap ever so slightly now to Scott Smith. Jack Hare in the podium position though at the moment, but it's Michael Mcpherson, Stuart Mcfadden looking to get involved as well. Mcfadden, car number 53, the blue car, just a little bit further behind, but it's Mcpherson got the inside on Jack Hare as they make their way into Brooklands Corner. Let's see if Mcpherson can make that stick. They're trading places midway through the track, and look at that, when Jack Hare's just managing to make it stick those centimetres again between the Audis, and Mcfadden says thanks very much, I'll take a little bit of the action as well. So Mcfadden leapfrogs Michael Mcpherson into 4th place. Mcfadden perhaps going to have a nibble at Jack Hare as they make their way down the start-finish straight and into Copse Corner for the second time of asking. And Mcfadden takes the inside line. He leaves it very, very late to make a move. Almost a little bit of contact there as Jack Hare runs out wide. A little dab of the brakes as well. That's going to cost him the run into Maggot. So let's see if Michael Mcpherson can make a move. The green car on the inside, and he's got his very, very straight braking there. And again, yeah, it's a great bit of driving there from Michael Mcpherson. Holds on to 4th place at the moment. Jack Hare in 5th. Robert McGregor looking to get involved as well. Hare and Mcpherson trading places though. Great action with a couple of minutes gone in this race.
Yeah, that was a little bit cheeky of Stuart Mcfadden. Jack left him room and Stuart squeezed him out right off the track, and that's now put him under pressure from Michael Mcpherson in this battle. Jack trying to hold the outside line once again through the final corner, and yeah, it looks like he's stuck in this battle now with Robert McGregor trying to get in on the action behind as well.
Absolutely, Robert McGregor up 2 places from where he started. Adam Brown up 4 places from where he started as well. He's having a very good race, but the fastest man on track at the moment is 3rd place man Stuart Mcfadden. It's a 101.1, so a good lap from the Pure Sims driver. And again, of course, he started this race well down the order. He's been making moves on lap number 4 here at the moment, but it looks like Jack Hare's coming under a little bit of pressure from Robert McGregor. McGregor got the inside line though. It looks like Jack's just gone wide on exit though. That's going to compromise him down the Wellington Straight and leave him vulnerable to an attack from Adam Brown with the orange alloyed wheels. The two Rethink Racing drivers looking to get involved with each other there, but it's been Robert McGregor to contend with as well, so they can't scrap just yet. McGregor goes the inside, a 3 wide almost into Brooklands. McGregor takes the inside line though into Luffield, and it looks like that Adam Brown can't quite get a move just yet. Jack Hare's still hanging on in there at the moment, 6th place at the moment, the purple car on the outside. And yes, he's got his teammate Adam Brown down to 7th place, not managing to make a move just yet. 4 minutes gone in this race though, and another fastest lap from Stuart Mcfadden. He's not hanging about. That's a 1 minute 0.6 this time round, so the lap times are coming tumbling down from Stuart Mcfadden, and that means that Scott Smith is going to perhaps have to look at the rear view mirrors and begin to defend. However, look at that though, Jack Hare though got the inside line though this time round, still in 5th place, but in the meanwhile it's allowing Mcpherson Mcfadden just to pull off though into the distance, and it leaves them able to scrap for the podium place. But Fraser Williamson at the moment down 1 place from where he started is the Murvano Sim Racing driver, 8th place on the road just now with almost 5 minutes gone in this race. Sam Cosney getting 10 with a big lock up there in front. Adam Brown leapfrogs McGregor. Brown goes into 6th place at the moment, but Jack Hare into 5th. He's got a couple of tenths of a second gap between the chasing pack, and here comes Williamson now. Williamson on the inside into Woodcock, but look at that, Robert McGregor closing the door, saying no thank you there. Williamson continuing to, he just thought he was going to take the inside lane there, but he's thought better of it and ducked out at the last minute into Copse Corner. Perhaps he's going to have a move into Maggot. Sam Corson looking to get into the mix as well alongside Russell Wheatley. Back at the front though, Stuart Mcfadden changing places with Scott Smith. There's the move. We thought it might have happened because he's been very, very quick the last couple of laps as car number 53. The blue car of Stuart Mcfadden into 2nd place of this race. 5 tenths of a second ahead of him is our race leader, Matthew Mcbride. And I wonder if Mcfadden could be the first driver to do a full clean sweep of race wins in any of our SMRC championships. Let's see how things unfold. 2 tenths of a second now between him and Mcbride, although it looks like Mcfadden just fallen back ever so slightly there on the exit of Luffield, but Scott Smith's holding on to the final podium paying position at the moment. Pure drama here in the final race of the evening, Pete.
Yeah, we're watching Sean Dobie, who's come under attack from both of the MSR drivers. Again, I feel like he was around them at the end of the previous race. He can't get rid of them. The brightly coloured car there for Sean Dobie in the middle of your shot. But look at this. This is the place to be, isn't it?
Absolutely, and it's pure drama into Cop's corner, and I have to be honest, I get very, very nervous when drivers try and make a move in there. It's not easy, and there's contact there as they make their way down. Ma gets there. Let's see if they all manage to come through the corner unscathed. Too wide there, further back. It's Andrew Mckinley and John Higgins swapping places as they make their way out the corner now and down the Wellington Straight. There's contact further behind. It is Mckinley. Just bounced off the car, but I think both cars managing to come through unscathed. But look at the front. We've got a change of the lead at the front as they go their way into Luffield. Mcfadden's got the inside line on Matthew Mcbride. 0.2 of a second gap into the bargain as well. And Stuart Mcfadden now leads the way into this race. It's the final one here tonight. He is on track for a clean sweep as things stand, but Mcbride is not having any of it. Mcbride looking to get involved though into Cox Corner. He's on the outside line though, so that brings the red car of Scott Smith into contention. Michael Mcpherson in fourth place, looking to get involved as well.
Yeah, I mean, Matthew Mcbride, he's got to be pretty happy with himself. He's managed to hold his own at the front of this pack on his first drive in the SMRC iRacing eSports Championship. But unfortunately, Stuart Mcfadden he's just too good, isn't he? Look at him.
Phenomenal pace from Mcfadden, I have to say. And he's, again, it's like we touched on earlier, it's the consistency of Stuart Mcfadden. It's so hard to beat as a driver. If you can just post those laps time after time after time, you'll get results. Further behind, Mcbride now coming under pressure from Scott Smith. And also Robert McGregor come under pressure from Fraser Williamson. Williamson a wee quick dab of the brakes there at the last moment into Luffield corner. Back ahead of him though, it's Mcpherson now. Mcpherson's managed to get past Smith. Scott Smith dropping back ever so slightly. He's gone from second to fourth in the space of a couple of laps. And Robert McGregor still coming under pressure from Fraser Williamson. Williamson just ducking out of the slipstream, perhaps going to have a move. Yes, he does. Williamson going to have a move again, side by side as he go into Cop's corner. Fraser Williamson manages to make that move stick though, and he's up into 7th place on this race. Sam Corzine though, the blue Rethink Racing car, looking to get involved as well. Got the inside line into Maggots. Can he make it stick? But there's been contact between Sam Corzine. Oh, and both cars have gone wide, and that's a disaster for them. And look at that, Sam Corzine, he's having to take the long way around right through the gravel trap as well, and a real disappointment for the Rethink Racing driver. Further ahead though, Fraser Williamson 7th place in the race. A little bit of breathing space around him now though, so he can turn his attention to those cars in front battling for the final podium paying positions. Matthew Mcbride 2nd place at the moment. Mcpherson in 3rd, hot on his heels, looking to make a move. He goes very narrow into Woodcock.
Yeah, Mcbride here, he really is. He's creating a bit of a traffic jam here, Andy, because all the drivers behind are really bunching up. So Mcpherson's looking in his rearview mirror and thinking, I need to get past Mcbride as quickly as possible, else I'm going to be swamped by the likes of Scott Smith, Jack Eyre and Adam Brown, who really are gaining.
Absolutely. Michael Mcpherson's fastest time of the race so far is a couple of tenths quicker than Matthew Mcbride. So Mcpherson knows he's got the pace. He goes to make a move further behind Jack Eyre, a little puff of smoke into Maggots. He's also looking to make a move on Scott Smith, but we'll follow the action further ahead, I should say, as it's Mcbride and Mcpherson exchanging places into Brooklands corner, but it's Mcbride who's got the inside momentarily. Can he make it stick though? Mcpherson looking to stay in and hang in there. Now he's got the inside. He's earlier on the brakes though, and there's been a little bit of drama further behind as well. Look at that. Scott Smith gone down to 6th place with Brown ahead of him. Then it's Eyre, Mcbride in 3rd, but McPherson got the inside line though. The green car's got the inside line as they make their way down the start-finish straight and into Cop's corner. 5 minutes or so left in this race. Mcbride got his nose in front at the minute, but he's got the outside line and he's got to surrender that position to Michael Mcpherson, who holds on to 2nd place in this race. But perhaps Mcbride's going to try and have a little bit of a nibble back as we follow Jack Eyre 4th place at the moment. He's got those two cars scrapping ahead of them into Maggots corner. Eyre goes wide, trying to perhaps make a move around the outside. I don't think he's quite managed to get alongside Mcbride this time round, but this has been another fantastic race so far here, Pete.
Yeah, Jack Eyre is on a mission. He's come from quite a way down, and if you remember back, he mentioned that he didn't get a single podium in the Spring Cup. So if he can make this one place up, I'm pretty sure he'll be a very happy chappy. Ending that drought, as I say that, he gets hit.
Yeah, a little bit of contact there from, I believe that was Matthew Mcbride. I don't think it was just a racing incident, but Eyre's compromised his exit though, and that's cost him further position. Scott Smith, the red car, moves into 5th place in this race. And Jack Ayre's got a couple of minutes left to try and make a move again. And meanwhile, it's Mcbride now in the podium position. Mcpherson's got a gap of a couple of tenths of a second, though. This is music to the ears of Michael Mcpherson, because he doesn't need to focus on that rear view mirror quite so much when the cars behind him are scrapping. Mcbride coming under pressure now, this time from Adam Brown, car number 8 in 4th place. But Scott Smith, Jack Ayre, Fraser Williamson now looking to get involved as well. There's a train of cars all looking to get in contention for this final podium position here this evening. Mcbride in 3rd at the moment. Michael Mcpherson, the green car, in 2nd place. Just a gap there. Again, he's just got a couple of tenths of a second ahead on Mcbride. Adam Brown goes narrow earlier on the brakes than Mcbride, though, into Luffield. Let's see if he can get a good exit and then a run down the start finish straight and into Copse, perhaps, as we look behind here from Matthew Mcbride, the 3rd place car at the moment. I just wonder if Adam Brown, Scott Smith and Jack Ayre have got a couple of moves left in them in the final few laps of this race. This is still very much all to play for as we look further back to Dave Christie, 10th place at the moment, up 2 places from where he started. He's looking to make a move on Martin Buchan. He goes round the outside, but there's been a little bit of contact between Christie and Buchan. Both cars coming through unscathed, but that brings Robert McGregor, John Higgins, James McIntosh, Sean Dobie and then some into contention. And the yellow car of Christie's on the outside now into Maggott's corner. Christie looking to close the door. Contact there further behind. And Christie's forced out wide in the exit of the corner. The yellow car out wide. Sean Dobie making moves all amid all the drama. Andrew Mckinley also looking to get involved. The blue car of Mckinley's got the inside line. And just further ahead, 3 cars also looking to get involved into Brooklands corner for the final couple of laps. And this has been pure drama here throughout. Cars trading laps every single corner. And it's a multicoloured car of Sean Dobie, though, that's got the good run, though, on the exit of the corner on John Higgins, looking to perhaps make a move into Copse corner. Let's see if he can just get enough of a drive. Dave Christie further behind, going defensive on Andrew Mckinley. Christie takes the inside line. McKinley's nowhere to go this time round. He's too far back to make a move. All the meantime, further ahead, Jack Ayre in 6th place. He's got Fraser Williamson now, though. Williamson on the inside, looking to make a move. And I think Williamson just easily got that one stick. Jack Ayre's just gone wide there. He's got the cut back on the exit. However, he's just too far back. And Fraser Williamson in 6th place at the end of this race. But Russell Wheatley now, the green car, 209, also lurking in the shadows and looking to get involved. Meanwhile, further ahead, Scott Smith in 5th place, the red car. 5th place in this race. Adam Brown ahead in 4th. Matthew Mcbride currently has that final step on the podium, but he's 0.3 of a second or so ahead of Michael Mcpherson. Further behind, Dave Christie again looking to make a move. He's on the inside there, side by side as they go round the final corner. The yellow car looks like it's managed to make it stick. McKinley on the outside, the blue car further back as well, also looking to get involved. 4 cars here scrapping for position. And it's absolutely too close to call in my book. This is drama here going down the start finish straight into Copse corner. 4 into 1 is absolutely not going to go. Christie's got the inside and makes it stick into 14th place. John Higgins in 13th place. And just further ahead, though, that's Buchan and McIntosh exchanging places. I suspect this will be the last lap, though. Look at the time in the top right of the screen. We're just about to hit 15-minute mark, so this will be the final lap of this race. So let's follow our race leader, Stuart Mcfadden, a gap of 3.5 seconds from Michael Mcpherson. It's been a tremendous race from Mcfadden, up 7 places from where he started. It's been a tremendous race, and indeed a tremendous evening from this man. It's a clean sweep for the first time in our championship. Stuart Mcfadden, car number 53, a fantastic race from him, and he takes the final win here this evening. Michael Mcpherson 2nd place. Matthew Mcbride takes the final step of the podium. A couple of drivers looking to exchange places here in the last couple of corners. Look at that, John Higgins in 14th, and pure drama. What a way to end the evening by just going together. That will cost you some incident points, unfortunately, but yeah, a great way to round off some action. Jonathan Glover taking the final points paying position in 25th place. And Pete, we thought Stuart Mcfadden was capable of doing a clean sweep, and he has done just that.
Yeah, that is impressive considering that he had 7 cars to get past cleanly in order to do that. We saw plenty of drivers attempting to make clean passes, and for some it worked out and for some it didn't. But Stuart Mcfadden showing everybody how it's done. And yeah, he got it done quite quickly in the race, didn't he? And was able to open up that gap towards the end. He's just doing his victory lap now, and why not?
Absolutely. Been a real statement of intent from Stuart Mcfadden, I have to say. That really does lay down a marker for this Summer Cup. It's a really, really impressive drive from the car number 53, and really looking forward to hearing what not just Stuart, but a number of the drivers have to say after that, because it was some fantastic racing. And Stuart, there's a few donuts there by the looks of it, and why not? Great racing. That's pretty interesting donuts, though, Pete. I've not quite seen drivers do donuts like that.
Front-wheel drive car. So why not?
Absolutely. Stuart Mcfadden then leading the way for the final race here this evening. Michael Mcpherson, second place, 3.5 seconds behind. Matthew Mcbride taking the final step on the podium. A podium finish for Mcbride in his debut in the Summer Cup, so well done to him. Adam Brown in fourth, Scott Smith in fifth. Fraser Williamson rounds off his night in sixth place. Jack Eyre in seventh, Russell Wheatley in eighth, Martin Buchan in ninth, James McIntosh taking the 10th place finish. So some fantastic action throughout the pack there, I have to say. And we did wonder how the drivers would cope with these new Audi RS3 LMS cars, and I think we're going to be treated to another good few rounds of action, because the drivers all looking very, very quick in these cars. So I can't wait for the next few rounds in the Summer Cup.
Me neither. I think we should go and get some interviews, Andy.
Absolutely, that sounds good to me. Let's jump into our waiting room and see who is available for a quick chat. And I think there's only one man we can really speak to kick things off. I think it's got to be the man that did the full clean sweep, Mr. Stuart Mcfadden. Let's get a word with him now. Stuart, many, many congratulations. That was a phenomenal drive from you, and I suspect a real statement of intent in this Summer Cup.
Yeah, thanks very much, man. I don't know. I can't. To be honest with you, I can't actually remember that much. I was just in the zone, like. But yeah, coming race 1 and 2 were good. Haven't driven this car in like a racing situation for a long, long time. So it's good to get back in that environment. You can do as much practice as you want, but it's nothing quite being like in a race. Starts were good, qualifying was good, and race 3. Starting from 8th. I didn't think I would get up to first, but I've ruled it out. I never do. And yeah, I just chipped away car by car. I knew I had the laps and the time in my hand, so just chipped away at it, and we got to first. And I just tried to pull away as quickly as possible to break a draft, because there's more straights and corners around Silverstone National. So yeah, draft is king.
No, absolutely. And Stuart, just talk us through your approach for that last race, because as you mentioned, you started a little bit down the back due to the reverse grid. Was it just a case of biding your time, or did you just have to pick your opportunities to overtake as and when they presented themselves to them?
Yeah, that's exactly it. With reverse grids, anything can happen. With people wanting to get to the front. So you just have to pick your battles, know when to back out and when to go for it. And that's exactly what I've done. Honestly, I don't think, thinking back, now that it's all coming back to me, I don't think I'd have changed anything about that last race. That was pretty. Nothing can ever be perfect, but I think I was pretty much close to perfection of picking moves and when to go for it and when to pull back, and saving the tyres as well. Because obviously the track temp was quite tonight, so that was a big factor in excelling. Because I didn't know how quickly I was going to pass other guys, so I just wanted to have the tyre at the end of the race to capitalise if the guys ahead of me were battling a lot.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Stuart, it's great to have you back in this championship. Well done there tonight, and I look forward to seeing how you get on at the next race at Alton Park.
Thanks very much. It's an absolute pleasure to be back, and I'm absolutely loving it.
Great stuff. That's Stuart Mcfadden there, who had a fantastic 3 races here at Silverstone. Let's get a word with one man who's on the podium in a couple of races tonight, Michael Mcpherson. Keen to hear his thoughts. Michael, fantastic couple of drives from you. 2 podium results as well. You must be really, really happy with that.
Well, where did that come from, Andy? I really enjoyed that. It was great fun. I think the TCR really lends itself to some good racing. I mean, hats off to Stuart. I think he's just a level above everyone else at the moment. But now it'd be good to try chase Stuart down a bit, and I think it's just his consistency is just phenomenal. But it was great racing. Really enjoyed it.
And some great scraps between you and Matthew Mcbride making his debut in this championship as well. Really, really good racing between the pair of you.
Yeah, it was really good. I just got a message from Matthew there, but yeah, it was mega. I really enjoyed it. I think we must have been side by side for at least 3/4 of a lap. But really clean racing between us both, and good respect between us already. So I really enjoyed that. But I think it's definitely time for a shower after that one.
And I'm seeing lots of comments from drivers about these new Audi cars. Lots of drivers very keen on them and enjoying racing with them. What's your thoughts on them?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I mean, I think the Mazda was good for some close racing, but I didn't, in all honesty, I didn't do an awful lot of testing in it. Whereas I really enjoy this TCR car, and if I'm on at night time with a few of my mates, it's usually the TCR is kind of the go-to car for a bit of fun. So really, really like the car, and yeah, again, I think it just lends itself to some really good racing.
Do you feel this car suits your driving style a bit more compared to the MX-5s?
I think other than driving a road car, I've never driven anything front-wheel drive at proper speed. So at first, I thought it wouldn't prefer a car where you can kind of back it in and drive it with the rear end, so to speak. Whereas the TCR is just about getting that traction with the front-wheel drive and just being really smooth, and just keeping that like minimum and mid-corner speed flowing all the time. So yeah, I think it's a really nice car once you kind of get into a rhythm and start to understand how to drive it. But yeah, definitely a hard car to drive.
Absolutely. Michael, great driving out there tonight, and thanks very much for joining us here.
That's great. Thanks, Andy.
That's Michael Mcpherson there, and let's catch up with our Spring Cup champion, Fraser Williamson now. Really keen to hear what Fraser has to say. Fraser joins us now. Fraser, some really good action there throughout, and you were very much in contention there as well. You must be really happy with your start to this campaign.
Not bad in the grand scheme of things. Was it 2 seconds and 6th? Obviously, I'd have preferred to have done better in the reverse grid. I just chose wrong at the start. Went left when I should have went right and got shuffled back. But it's solid points for the overall championship, obviously, without Michael Weddle here. It makes it slightly better that the way the points probably look now.
Absolutely. And Fraser, do you feel that you're kind of taking a bigger picture approach to this championship now as a result as well? Because of course you've got that Spring Cup win in the bag and some fantastic points into the bargain as well. So are you quite happy when the situation falls like that in the third race, just to play the long game, sit back and pick up the pieces?
Well, it's not that I'm happy just to sit and chill, obviously. It's just I know there's no way I'm beating Stuart in this car. There's just not enough hours in the day and enough patience to practice enough to beat him. So I'm just doing whatever I can to, make sure I win the overall championship at the end of the autumn championship. That's my main goal at the moment.
And what's your thoughts on this Audi car? Are you enjoying it so far?
Absolutely not a fan of it.
Really? Yeah?
I've never raced front wheel drive before, never driven it. Probably would never will after this if I can get away with it. Just not my cup of tea. There's no downforce. The power goes to the wrong wheels. I just get me some downforce and rear wheel drive and I'll be happy again.
Well, Fraser, you did very, very well out there tonight, so I think you'll be absolutely fine in this Audi. Wouldn't worry about that. Great driving out there tonight, and thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
That's Fraser Williamson there. Let's catch up with one of our Rethink Racing drivers now, Jack here. Really looking forward to speaking to Jack. Jack, thanks very much for joining us. How are things from your perspective?
Oh, well, it's just, starting from zero again in this car. I've not quite adapted to it as well as I thought, but it's all on the left foot. And I definitely learned a lot from following. I think I picked the pace up in race 3 and just got unlucky with the contact. But yeah, no, apart from messing my qualifying up, I don't really have much to complain about this week because, pace was good.
And do you find when you're coming out the exits of the corners, you have to be kind of gentle as you apply the power in these cars as well? I think that it could be easy to just, perhaps in the MX-5s, you can just floor it and you can power the car out the corner, but the Audi seem a little bit more delicate.
Yeah, you approach corners in this car completely different to you would to the way you would in an MX-5. I feel like in the MX-5 I'd get it slowed down and turned in at the same time, and then I'd just put the foot straight through the floor before I'd even apex, just to carry as much speed as I could. But in this, you have to do all your braking really early. You've got to be really smooth on the steering and every input really roll off the brake and then slowly on the throttle. But it wants the wheel spin in seconds, so you've got to be careful.
Absolutely. And looking ahead to the next round at Alton Park, what's your thoughts on that one?
I don't know. I feel like I prefer Alton as a track, where whether the pace will be there or not is still an unknown. And hopefully I get plenty of time to practice, and we'll see where we are in a couple of weeks.
Great stuff, Jack, and best of luck for that event. Thanks very much for speaking to us.
Thanks, guys.
It's Jack here there. We've got a couple of drivers still keen to get their thoughts on. Let's catch up with Scott Smith now. Scott had a very impressive race there at Silverstone tonight. Scott, that was some great driving from you there throughout, and you must be really pleased with your 3 races here this evening.
Yeah, as I say, Andy, points make prizes, mate. And I was just out to try and keep it clean and put points on the board, the opening round and the new car, so just try to do my best.
And do you feel that there was lots of drivers just exchanging corners, exchanging overtaking opportunities, corner after corner? There was drivers perhaps going side by side for half a lap and things like that. It must have required a lot of concentration just to keep the car on the road and just stay focused, not just for one race, but for all 3 races here tonight. So some great driving out there, Scott.
Yeah, thank you, Andy. I'm not going to lie, I do have a sweat on my brow. It's definitely been a tough 3 races, and as I say, with this new car, you've got to be so smooth with it. And any slight error, you've got someone coming up your inside or even round your outside at some times, and you've got to grit your teeth and just hang on, really.
And how are you finding racing on the iRacing platform in general now? You've had a lot of time to get used to it, and of course you've been taking part in the Spring Cup as well. Or do you feel like you're comfortable with things now and very much up to speed and happy with it?
Yeah, I've been around iRacing many years now. When the TCRs came out, I actually jumped on the TCR bandwagon, so to speak, and I absolutely loved them, and I was doing well in them. And then like everything else, I kind of dropped them and then went to GT3s, and you move up to the GT classes, and I've not been on a TCR in a long time, so it's been quite refreshing to come back to it.
No, absolutely. And looking ahead to Alton Park, it's the island configuration for that track in a few weeks' time. Is that one you're looking forward to? Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that. Silverstone, I don't go well at Silverstone. It's not a track that I particularly like. Well, Alton, I think it's going to be fantastic in these, especially that configuration with the double chicane. It's going to be proper like British touring car racing. It's going to be elbows out and just knuckle your way through.
Oh, great stuff, and best of luck out there at Alton Park, Scott. And look forward to speaking to you after that one.
Fantastic, guys. Thank you.
Scott Smith there, and let's catch up with I think we've got Adam Brown in the waiting room. Let's hear what Adam's got to say. Adam, some nail-biting action in all 3 races for you there. Just talk us through that. There was some great scraps with a number of drivers.
Yeah, I mean, first race was awesome, racing with Fraser pretty much side by side with him for the whole thing. Some great racing there. I think perfect track for it.
And of course, there was a good few scraps with your Rethink Racing teammate Jack Eyre as well throughout. And how do you feel when you're racing your teammates like that? Is it just kind of no inches given, or are you always kind of conscious of the championship points and the kind of the bigger picture?
Well, in the last round of the MX5 Cup, I may have given Michael Weddle a little tap on his rear, and so I am being extra careful not to wipe any of my teammates out. So it was giving him a wee bit more space than normal.
No, absolutely. And again, looking ahead to Alton Park, it's going to be a very different offering to the Silverstone circuit as well, of course. What's your kind of approach to that one? Is it one where you're just going to try and get plenty of seat time on and see how things go?
I mean, I'm even more worried about Stuart around there because there's a whole lot more corners. But
I think it should be fun. I was fairly fast around there in the Mazdas, so hopefully that pace continues into these cars.
Great stuff, and best of luck out there for the next one. It was great watching you tonight, Adam, and looking forward to seeing how you get on next time out at Oulton Park.
Thank you very much.
That's Adam Brown there. Let's catch up with Martin Buchan, and then we've got Andrew Mckinley to join us as well. Martin, some great driving out there tonight. Just talk us through it. It was pretty nerve-wracking to watch at times in the commentary box, and it must have been even more so behind the wheel of the car.
I was going to say, Andy, you think that was nerve-wracking? Stumping myself. It was mad. Yeah, I mean, race one, let's not talk about that. I think I got about 3 corners in, and then, so it happened. That's all I'll say. But no, it was great fun, just going through the back, and some of the sights I was seeing, I was just like, what am I doing here? And you just were like picking gaps and going, oh, well, might work, it might not, to see what happens.
That's it, and I dare say the Silverstone circuit kind of lends itself to that as well. You can just throw the car up the inside and you can perhaps make it stick. But do you feel that these Audi cars lend themselves to that as well? You've just got, because you've got a bit more power under the right foot, you can just make an opportunity to overtake a little bit earlier.
Maybe I think it's more because you got the more power, but if you get on the power too quick, the thing just plows on like a Massey Ferguson. So I mean, people make those mistakes, and that kind of just creates situations and stuff. And I think it's the braking as well. It's just there are some people who've got the brakes spot on, they know what they're doing, and I'm a bit like tentative on the brakes still, and it just kind of causes these kind of ebbs and flows that you get close to somebody, then they'll get someone behind, they'll get closer, and it's just traffic as well. It's just mad. I mean, a second between the top 20, it's just going to be trains and going for dives and stuff all the time.
No, it certainly looks that way, I think, and with a couple of twisty tracks on the horizon as well, it does look like it's going to be a case of just picking your moments to make a move, and I dare say just perhaps biding your time as well, and then just picking up the pieces afterwards.
Just take your time. I mean, I can't say I was ever forcing moves or anything. I was just like, you know what, I'll just relax and just see what happens. And some people were just kind of like, it had to be there now and then. And that's when it doesn't come off. Sometimes it's, they thought it was like a 2-minute sprint race, and I'm doing like a 24-hour endurance race mentality almost.
No, absolutely. It was some great driving out there, Martin Buchan. Very, very well done, I have to say. And I look forward to seeing how you get on next time out at Oulton Park. Thanks very much for joining us.
Cheers, boys.
It's Martin Buchan there. And let's catch up now with Andrew Mckinley. Andrew, you made your debut in the Summer Cup here on the iRacing platform. Of course, you've raced in the consoles previously as well. So how was that for you tonight?
Oh, first, hello to all you guys for making this series. And it's a very new experience to be in the iRacing series, to go from console to PC.
So how have you prepared for this one in advance? Has it just been a case of, again, just throwing in the laps, doing as much as you can, or have you perhaps had iRacing for a while, and now this is just the time's right to jump into the Summer Cup?
Well, I've had iRacing for a while, and also I've been throwing as much as laps as possible. So I have to get as much as I possibly can.
And do you feel that the console championship has kind of prepared you well for this Summer Cup, particularly in the Audi TCR cars?
Definitely.
And what's your kind of approach to this championship, Andrew? Is it just a case of, again, just putting in the laps and seeing how things go, or have you got a particular target in mind that you're aiming for?
At the moment, it's a new season to start with, but my target is to actually get as high as possible, because it's not just about taking the championship straight away. It's all about just getting that progress going.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, Andrew, we wish you very, very well with your campaign. It's great to see you make the switch from console to the iRacing Championship. And is this one where we'll perhaps see you in the final cup as well, the Autumn Cup? Are you looking to get involved in that too?
Maybe, but I'm not entirely sure on that. But I'm definitely looking forward to do the rest of the Summer Championship.
Excellent. Well, we'll look forward to seeing how you get on with that, Andrew. Thanks very much for joining us here.
Take care.
That's Andrew Mckinley there. And that's all we've got time for on this broadcast. Some fantastic racing from start to finish, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. From me, Andy Alston, and Pete Butcher, thanks very much for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you for the next round at Oulton Park on the 16th of June in our Summer Cup. Thanks very much.